In this video, I want to explain why we chose Husqvarna and why we think that's a really good decision and a really good chainsaw. First bought a house, was in a more urban environment, and this was the first chainsaw we bought. It's an electric chainsaw, and as you can see, it's a Remington. I think it was under $50, and for the house we had at the time, it really served a purpose. Just cutting up little limbs here and there that fell from storms, and well, that's all I could do. Someone might ask, what purpose does a saw like this, an electric chainsaw, serve on a homestead now? Well, now that my son is getting a little older, this is actually what he's training on. So, a little less dangerous, you give him some good experience, and when he moves up to the gas-powered chainsaw, he'll be well experienced and he won't hurt himself. When we ran into some tree work, we needed something a little bigger, so we went to Big Lots and we bought this Poland saw. It's a remanufactured saw. And believe it or not, it was only about $60. And that served its purpose and took care of those trees pretty well, but definitely underpowered to be chopping firewood. So when we moved into the new homestead here, we figured out that we needed about 10 cords of firewood a year. And as you can see, we're still on this year, chopping and splitting firewood, getting ready. So this is our second year in the home, and this is my second year using this Husqvarna 450 Rancher. It has a 20-inch bar on it, and it's got a lot of power to do its job. We were a little bit lenient about buying this saw because it retails for about $500 at the time. Prices come down since last year. I think it's a little over $400 right now. So with 5 kids, we really didn't want to spend our money unwisely. $500, that's a lot of money. But what we found out is that, our home also runs on oil heat, or it could run, heat our home with a wood stove. Oil heat for about 5 weeks was 150 gallons of home heating oil. And that was about 5 or 6 weeks, about over $600. So that really made this purchase a lot easier. So when we did decide to make the purchase to get a good chainsaw, it was either the Husqvarna or getting a still saw. Now everybody that has a still loves a still, and I got nothing bad to say about it because I never used one. But the reason why we chose Husqvarna, it really seemed like it was a comparable saw to the still. Some people that used both would even say that the Husqvarna is better, and of course some people say Still's better. But bang for your buck, I think Husqvarna beats Still, hands down. Almost triple the price, or definitely more than double the price to get the comparable Still brand, brand new. And we purchased this saw brand new. What we thought was a very reasonable price, and so far we were very happy with the operation. When we're done this year, it would have cut about 20 cords of firewood, so it's a lot, and no maintenance yet really on the engine itself. We clean the air filter, clean up the spark plug, and that's about it. However, if I did have one complaint about the Husqvarna, I would say that maybe the bar wears a little bit too fast. This is a replacement bar that we got, and I'll show you the original bar it came from. This is the original bar, and I would say maybe 10-12 cords of firewood, it pretty much met its match. I do like the fact that the front sprocket, you're able to grease it. You grease it on both ends there, and Sprocket's not the problem. I think that the problem is that this bar just really wears fast. I don't know if you can tell, but the bar is pretty much worn out. And I did file it. I took off the burrs and filed it down the way you're supposed to. And eventually, the chain just doesn't ride how it's supposed to. And it's not really that flat anymore. So I don't know if like the other major brand like Stihl has this problem with the bars, but I did expect it to last more than 10 cords of firewood, and it didn't. But the replacement bar really wasn't that bad. It was about $25 and got a new 20-inch bar. So I'm going to show you what this chainsaw can do. We're going to pretty much max out its potential with this log here. And we're going to go right through this log, and I'll show you. It'll probably bog down a little bit when the whole thing digs in, but I'm pretty confident it'll go through that log there. That's what the wood chips are supposed to look like. Not sawdust. These are actual chips coming off. That's a good sharp chain. That's the way a saw should cut. Watch out, Joe. So we see this is the way that this saw should cut. This is bigger than the bar, but I just wanted to show what would happen if you maxed out a Husqvarna. I think this is pretty much it, but this is huge. I mean, we're not going to cut too much anything bigger than this. I hope you found this helpful. If I had the chance to buy this saw again, or if I had to buy the saw again, I would definitely do it. It's good for firewood.